Now you do have some understanding of how LVM works, which is of course for logical volume management. And we will go through our Linux OS installation and we will configure LVM for the very first time while we are doing our Linux installation. So let's open up our package and attach our ISO image to our VM. So let's go into our virtual machine, click on new, and this time put LVM Linux OS. It doesn't matter, you could pick any name that you like. The type should be Linux and the version is the 64-bit. Click next. Leave the memory as 1 gig. Create a new virtual disk. Next. Leave it default for the virtual physical disk. This is the name of your folder where it will be created, and this is the size of your disk, of your hard disk. Okay, so now you have two virtual machines. One you have already running previously, and the second one you just created. So let's start it. Okay, we have to specify where is our CentOS ISO image is. And click start. Okay, this is going to boot the system in 54 seconds. The first one is install CentOS 7. The second one, test this media and install OS. Don't pick that. Click the up arrow key and go with install CentOS 7. Hit enter. The first thing that you will see during the installation is welcome to CentOS 7. You leave that default as English and you click on continue. On the second page you will see the date. Leave that default as America and New York time. If you are in a different region, you could pick according to your region. Keyboard, it will also getting the list of keyboards, and I will have it set to default, which is also going to be US English. Language support is English to the United States. Again, the first one is the localization. You should pick these settings according to your location. The next one is the software. Installation source is the local media, which we have already attached to this installation. And on the right hand side you see software selection. We will keep the software selection to minimum, which means there will be no GUI installed. So because this is just the demonstration of the LVM configuration. KDump is enabled. Security policy, you can leave it as is. Let's pick the host name and network. If you scroll down, the host name is right here. I want you to pick any host name that you like. I will just pick host 123 and click on apply. And you see on the right hand says it says current host name host 123. For now you will leave the network setting as disconnected and turn off. Click done. Then go to installation destination. This is where you would have to specify your disks, your partitions, and what kind of LVM partitions you will be configuring. Okay, we have our disk set to 8 gig of memory, so select that. When you have this check mark, you will have the option enabled at the bottom, and it says automatically configure partitioning. Now this time you will check I will configure partitioning myself. Once you click on it and then go to click done. Once it is done, it will bring you to a page where it would ask you the new CentOS 7 installation. And it says you have created any mount points for your CentOS 7 installation yet. So we have to create it, of course. Create new mount points by clicking the plus button right here. Before we click the plus button, it will ask new mount points will use the following partitioning scheme, which is LVM. You could click standard partition, which will not be LVM related. If you click on LVM and click plus sign, it will actually apply the LVM configuration to that partition. And you pick the mount point. For example, you want to have home directory and pick 2G, meaning it's 2 gig. You want to give it to your home directory. Click add mount point. As soon as you click add mount point, on the right hand side it will give you the mount point / home, the capacity that you have picked. The device type will be LVM. Again, you could change it if you want to, but we are working with LVM, so we will leave that as LVM. The group name is CentOS _ host 123. This is the group name that is being picked by the installation itself. You can modify it if you want to give it a different name by clicking modify. File system type is XFS, which is the most latest one in Linux. You could pick a different file system if you desire to. Then the label, you could leave it as is, and the name of course is home. So you have given 2 gig to this and you have left with 6 gig. So let's pick another partition. So you click plus, and this time we will pick var. I wanted to give 2 gig as well, 2G, and click add mount point. And same thing as we had for home, it is giving us mount point var 2 gig LVM. CentOS host 123 volume group is the same volume group that has the whole entire 8 gig assigned. You can modify it to change it again, but anyway, now you see we have 4 gig left. Now simply what you could do is you could click add here, and if you want to add swap, let's add swap. Swap is a virtual memory, which is just like a regular memory in your disk, but this will be used to be available when the physical memory is run out of space. So you click on add mount point again, and again there is no mount point for swap because it's just a virtual memory. Everything will be the same, and now you have 3 gig left. So click plus again, and this time you pick the rest, which will be /. Everything else that is left on your disk space will go to / directory. So if you see, it has here 30063.97. you could type all those numbers, or you could just simply type all. When you type all, it will take the entire disk space left and assign it to your last mount point, which is /. Add mount point and confirm the configuration on the right hand side. The device type is LVM, the group is the same. The name of that partition is going to be root, and if you see, we only have 992.5 kilobyte disk space left. So you could just leave it as is. The system needs it to leave it out, and now you could just click done. It will just tell you the summary of all the changes that you have done, that it will create these home directories. That's okay. You click accept changes, and now it says error checking storage configuration. Select this, and this could come done again, and just confirm one more time. Everything looks good. Yep, everything looks good. So let's go back again. Error check, click for details, press done again to continue. The boot file system cannot be of type LVM. Yes, that is true. I forgot to pick boot. Boot also has to be picked. So I will pick, so I will remove this first because we need to create boot first. So this, the last partition, the slash that we were picking, I removed that. Now I will add boot first, and I will give this as 500 meg, which is half a gig. That is added. Same thing, all except file system. Now the rest I want to give it to boot file system, and just assign all. Everything is added. Just make sure no error messages. Click on done. Accept changes. Custom partition selected. Everything here looks good and no red letters of error messages. Perfect. Now begin the installation. We'll set the root password real quick. And user creation if you want to. You would have to click done twice because the password that I have entered is weak password, so it asks us to click the done button twice just to confirm that you are aware that you have picked the wrong password or the weak password. Anyway, if you notice at the bottom, you'll see we have 300 packages that it has to go through, and it is applying all those packages. I will fast forward from here. The installation has been completed successfully. As you see at the bottom, it says CentOS is now successfully installed and ready for you to use. When you come down, you will see the option to reboot. So just go ahead and simply reboot. Okay, the system has been rebooted and we got the login prompt. We'll go ahead and log in. Okay, now run df-h. This command will give you all the partitions that we have created during our installation, and will show you the size and the used space and available space. The first line, if you notice, we have the root file system, and you see it has a file system starting with dev mapper. So anything that you have in LVM, it will start with dev mapper. Anything that is not with LVM or just a swap space does not have a partition file system. So on the right hand side, you will see it is mounted on /dev, which is the swap. All of them are swap. The next one that you will see from the list is /home, /var, and /boot. Those are all three partitions are mounted. Only two, home and var, are mounted under LVM, whereas boot does not get mounted under LVM. It's a standard file system. And let's look at our other Linux machine. So the difference between with this machine and other machine is this machine has GUI, the other one we did not install the GUI because we just wanted to cover how the LVM is configured during the installation. So run df-h. In this one, you will see the first line right here. It says dev mapper /CentOS-root. Now, if you notice, this machine is also configured with LVM. It did the configuration on its own because we did not partition it ourselves. So by default, Linux installation will create your file system under the LVM unless you specifically tell it to use a standard partition. But in this system, you'll see we don't have slash boot, slash war, slash home, slash war. We don't have those partition because we actually included all those partition within the first partition. In this one, you could still have everything under one partition. Sorry. This one you could have everything under one partition, which is slash. But the reason we picked separate partitions slash home slash war is just to cover this lesson so you will understand how LVM is configured for each mounted partition.